New York police and prosecutors finally have their suspect, and now they shift to building their case against Luigi Mangione, the man now charged with the murder in the killing of a health insurance executive. Evidence seized appears to provide a direction for investigators.
We don't think that there's any specific threats to other people mentioned in that document, but it does seem that he has some ill will toward corporate America.
These are the images that give us the first full look at the suspect. He's now in a Pennsylvania prison, not far from where he was arrested, in a McDonald's restaurant after a manhunt that riveted the world's attention. Pennsylvania authorities say 26-year-old Mangione is now charged with gun and other offenses there. But within hours of his arrest, New York authorities say they have formally charged him as well with second-degree murder in the killing of health insurance CEO Brian Thompson. Investigators say they believe they now have the gun and other evidence linked to the ambush shooting.
There were a number of items that were found on his person, in his backpack, that have been inventoried, and we've begun to do an analysis of some of those. There were written documents.
U.S. media are reporting phrases like "it had to be done" and "the parasites had it coming." Those are included in the 3-page document. The reports add there is no mention of the victim, but his company is named. Police have confirmed bullet casings found at the shooting scene had the words "deny, delay, and depose" written on them, language that references tactics used by insurance companies in legal fights over claims. Police say they also seized a so-called ghost gun, a 3D printed weapon and suppressor that resembles the weapon used in the shooting. There are revelations, too, from people who knew Luigi Mangione. They say he complained about debilitating back pain and posted about it on social media. CNN reporter Lee Waldman begins our coverage this morning with more on what we're learning about Mangione. She's reporting from just outside the prison where he's being held.
This is someone who came from a very wealthy background, a very healthy upbringing from his family. What we're learning about him online is, yes, he was the valedictorian from his high school. He went to an Ivy League college. We know that his last known address, he was living in Hawaii. But we also know that he publicly kept track of the nearly 300 books that he either read or had wanted to read. And one of those books was the Unabomber Manifesto that he had favorably reviewed on an online website. Now, when he was arrested, he also had a manifesto of sorts with him that police had uncovered. Now, sources with law enforcement have not let us see this document that he had with him, but have unveiled some of the specifics, stating that it had ill will toward corporate America.
So, again, police looking at some of these indications as being potential motive. We have charges in Pennsylvania. We have the charges late last night, including that second-degree murder charge from New York. How is this process going to play out, Lee, and what do we watch for next in this case?
Well, Heather, we know that he had his first initial arraignment in Pennsylvania last night before being taken to this state prison behind us. With those charges that came in from New York, we know that there will be an extradition process to get him back to New York so that he can face those charges. At this point, we're waiting to see when exactly that extradition will take place. He does have another court appearance, though, set on December 23rd here in Pennsylvania. So we're waiting to see when all of that will happen, if they're going to waive that initial court appearance or that second court appearance in Pennsylvania for the extradition that will happen in New York. We know that detectives with NYPD and also with the FBI, they came here to Pennsylvania to begin their questioning of Mangione. So we're seeing a lot of this process already starting to play out. They're not waiting for the extradition to happen here.
That's CNN reporter Lee Waldman from just outside the prison. Reporters at his Pennsylvania arraignment say Mangione had no lawyer and spoke for himself. If he chooses to start a legal fight over being moved to New York to face the murder charge, that will lead to a lengthy formal process that could take weeks to resolve.